Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber here. Thank you for stopping by for my music in review Saturday. This is spinning number 117. And this was, got this week off to a different start and was really happy about it. I'm going to tell you all about it here in a second. But so go down there and hit that like button. Do all the good stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Help the channel grow. Let's get some more of the vinyl community coming over. At least taking a look at the old man, see what he's listening to. Anyway, I started the week off with an album I picked up last year. Show you the front cover, you might understand which one it is. Skeleta. This is the sixth studio album by the Swedish rock band Ghost. I came upon Ghost about 4 or 5 years ago, and I really, really liked them. This is the insert to it. And so on this particular day, it was Sunday. I listened to this with a headset on because I wanted to get some more clarity on the lyrics. This album, by the way, when it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Top 200 chart. Well, anyway, that was Sunday. And along came Monday, which I normally watch, pick up another album and look at it. But what did I watch or listen to was Skeleta again. Why? Twice. Well, as I said, I picked up 4 or 5 years ago, and I talked about it enough that my grandson remembered that, and he bought me and him a ticket for the concert for Christmas. So last Monday, on the 23rd of February, we went down to the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California, and saw Ghost live on the last stop of their Skeletor tour. And it may be the last in a while, but I won't get into that because I'm not speculation and so forth. What a great concert. It's probably the most elaborate. I did buy me and my grandson a souvenir. It shows all the tours stops on the back. Well, anyway, musically, this album is described as hard rock, arena rock, pop rock, and I just enjoyed it. It was so great. The lighting, the changing, the smoke, the fire, the background things in video, and their costuming. I'm so glad because in the past I have missed concerts in the '80s. I have missed guys like Blue Oyster Cult, and thing in those ones like that. But I'm so happy that I did that. This may be the last one for this group, and I am very happy to have made it. Well, anyway, one of the reviewers said that this was probably their weakest entry into their discography. I have 4 albums by them, and I like each and every one of them. And without a doubt, this album for me is VG Plus to start the week off. Yeah, and I've been thinking of that concert all week. This is crazy. All right, we're gonna go to the next one in that Whatnot bundle, and I'm still working my way through. This is a 1982 LP by Jefferson Starship called Winds of Change. Winds of Change, not change. Not change like it's in your pocket for money. Change, CHANGE. The old man's stuttering today, folks. Bear with us. Okay? I have 3 LPs and 3 CDs in the collection by Jefferson Starship. This was the 7th album by Starship. And it marked the return of one of my favorite ladies, Grace Slick. to the lineup as a full-time member. This album reached number 26 on the Billboard Top 100 chart. And I don't have my glasses on. I can see Keep on Dreaming, Be My Lady, Winds of Change. Some good songs on here, so some hits. And two top 40 singles, Be My Lady and Winds of Change, made it to the top 40. Even though it charted well, the critical wasn't all that good. One writer stated, I quote, this is Joseph McCombs of AllMusic, called the album one of the weakest entries into the band's discography and strikingly unadventurous. I'm a big fan of Grace Slick, and I'm a big fan of Jefferson Airplane, and I'm a big fan of the initial days of Jefferson Starship and Hot Tuna and things like that. And so, but as a fan, and to being honest, I'll show you the label. There's a nice looking label on here. Played BG Plus on the quality of the use from there. So I can only go G Plus on it this week. You know, I don't know. Maybe I could have gone higher, but I could. And what was that? This is G Plus on the 1982 LP by Jefferson Starship, Wind of Change. Let me know what you think of Starship or Airplane. I'm a big Jefferson Airplane fan too. All right, so now we're going to go into one that I picked up because I wanted to check into a new group, and I had heard about this group in review. I didn't know that this was an EP when I purchased it. Of course, the old man not paying attention to that. And the EP is Hallis by Hallis. See my glasses on, I can tell you what this. I don't think you can read the sticker, so I'll go ahead and read it. It's the band who brought you the 2017 pop album, excerpts from the future past, okay, and so forth. This goes on talking about that. There's not much real good information on there. So it came. I played it. It's the only thing I have by Hallis in the collection. Hallis itself was formed in 2011, and they released this EP and their debut album prior to getting signed by a label. It was kind of the work that they did to try to get some recognition. The names of the band members. Then here they played a blend of progressive rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. And from what I read, they were inspired by a lot of the bands from the 70s. I liked this music on this EP. I'm going to go G plus on it. And I had their most recent album, Panorama, on my list, noted to be held until I listened to this one. And I did. I listened to it, so I now have it. I will give them a try with another album, probably Panorama, or else I'll do a search and see what the people think was their most their best. So this was the EP 2016 or 2018 EP from Hallis, titled Hallis. So side one had the song Autumn in Space and Insomnia on it. Side two had Tales of a Tyrant and ended with Hallis. Okay, moving along. We were having a pretty good week so far. I've been having a lot of fun doing that. And then we get to the time for the CDs coming out of the collection or in the collection. The number one is number 200. It's a 1994 CD CD by Bon Jovi titled Crossroad. I have 1 LP and 12 CDs in the collection by Bon Jovi. Must mean I like them. This was one, believe it or not, this is one of my mother's favorite performers or singers. She liked him, Michael Jackson, and Elvis. Can't go wrong with any of those, I don't think. This was the first official greatest hits album by the American rock band. Did I show you the back? I'll hold it up again so you can see the titles on there. The album contains hits from all previously released albums from their debut, which was Bon Jovi, to Keep the Faith in 1992. A little booklet in here. Yeah, we're going to open it up. It spent 6 months in the top 10 in the Billboard Top 100. And became Bon Jovi's biggest sale. In the U.S. Its international successes helped the band climb, peak at #1 in 13 different countries, and it made Polydor Records' best-selling album of 1994. It's the best-selling album it's Bon Jovi's best-selling album in many countries, and it has sold more than 21.5 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums ever. One of the best. Don't know where it ranks. I didn't look that out. Nice production on the CD. Wow, Keep the Faith. You give love a bad name. My daughter used to cry when that would come on. I would sing it and point to her. I used to tease her a lot. Bad Medicine. Lots of really good stuff on here. Wanted, Dead or Alive. So, what can I do? It's so good. And it was good then, and it is good now. But give it a VG Plus for the week. That's the 1994 album, Crossroad by Bon Jovi. Okay, now we're going number 201, and we're keeping the action going this week. Yes, sir. It is Greatest Hits, and it's the 1995 album, I believe. Let me look at my note here. It's a 1995 album by Bruce Springsteen. And again, another one. I have 3 LPs and 10 CDs in the collection by Bruce. This one really, really rocked. Okay? It's the first compilation album by the American singer. It's a collection of some of Springsteen's hit singles and popular tracks through the years, along with 4 new songs at the end that were created with the E Street Band. The compilation was very, very successful, reaching #1 on the 200 chart. Sold 6 million copies in the U.S. However, it did receive mixed reviews. It came out, some not in favor, saying that he didn't have picked the right one. Some saying, why did he put new songs on a compilation? And dot to dot and on and on and on. And so, despite its great sales, all the reviews weren't that positive. There were some. For me, I'm very happy it's in the selection. I had a heck of a day. I listened to both CDs on the same day. And wow, that's a lot of really good music between the previous one I talked about and this one. So my foot was rocking all day. I'll show you the CD here in a second. Got like a silhouette of Bruce on there, back of Bruce. So, this is Greatest Hits by Bruce Springsteen, 1995, and I would be totally dishonest if I did not give it a VG plus for the week. Very, very good stuff. All right. Last thing in the week. Remember, after the last thing, then I pick out the two that brought me back, that I had the most fun with. So brought back more memories and everything. So the last one, and it continued. My week has just continued on to be a really, really good one. And this is a 1979 album by the Alan Parsons Project titled Eve. Eve is the fourth studio album by the Alan Parsons Project. 1979, I was living in Belgium. I had become a fan of theirs prior to here. And up until this point, I had all of their albums because I really enjoyed their music. There's no inner in this one. It was probably just a paper sleeve that I threw away. Got like right here, it's got the names of the songs, but one of them's right side up, the other one's upside down. See how that one is there? Then we got to flip it over and look at it in another place to see the other side. Pretty strange. I don't know about that. Okay. The album focus on the strengths of women and their hardships of trying to make it in a male-dominated world. It was originally intended to focus on the greatest women in history, but evolved into a wider concept. The album's opening instrumental, Lucifer, was a major hit in Europe. And Damned If I Do, which I really like that song too, reached top 40 in the U.S., peaking at number 27, and reaching number 18 in the Canada's reviews or charts. So the album, the reviews, they range from fair to good. Good. The fair was basically, this is okay, but it's not up to Alan's previous releases and so forth. Trying to make it on his own, under his own name after what he did with Abbey Road and The Dark Side of the Moon. There's a big step to take, a hard battle to fight, I think, anyway. So anyway, I'm going to give it a VG for the week. Eve, the 1979 project, or the 1979 album by the Alan Parsons Project. All right. All right, let's look and see which ones I'm going to pick. It's hard. Those two CDs were so good, but I'm going to try to pick things that are not always compilations. Sorry, you probably heard the phone ring, but I had to answer that. It was a very important call. So as I was saying, the CDs were so good. I'm going to try to pick some stuff that wasn't. So I'm going to pick, my first one I'm going to pick is Skeleton by Ghost. How can I not listen to it twice? Go to the concert and not pick it. All right. And then, Hallis was good. Winds of Change was good. So I'm going to skip the CDs because the compilations were just, they're really good. They brought me back a lot of stuff, but I'm going to go to Eve from the Alan Parsons Project as my second pick. And so I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you hit some comments on the way out. This is SoCal Saber saying, tell your neighbors about this. Tell your friends about the music channel. So take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.